In the 1930s, spiritual teacher Emmet Fox published a tiny pamphlet titled The Golden Key. It was only a few pages long, but in those few pages was a revolutionary idea. Fox wrote, "If you are thinking about your difficulty, you are not thinking about God. It's that simple." The Golden Key is a spiritual formula based on this principle. Stop thinking about the problem and think about God instead. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This teaching is radical because it cuts through the noise of overanalysis, worry, spiritual performance, and frantic problem solving. It brings us back to the most fundamental spiritual truth. What you focus on expands. And when you shift your focus from fear to faith, from confusion to divine intelligence, you open the way for resolution, peace, and transformation. Why it works, the spiritual science behind it. So, how does something so simple actually work? Let's break it down. The mind cannot hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. If you are thinking of love, you cannot be thinking of fear. If you are focused on truth, you are not empowering the lie. Emmet Fox taught that every problem we face, no matter how large or small, is a symptom of separation from God or divine mind. Not in reality, but in consciousness. And the moment we return our attention to God, divine intelligence, infinite good, we reconnect with our source of clarity, peace, wisdom, and abundance. It's not about begging or bargaining with God to fix things. It's about aligning your own mind with the spiritual truth, that behind all appearances, good is present. And when your mind becomes still, focused, and God-centered, you become receptive to inspired solutions. You stop reacting and begin responding from a higher place. You are no longer a victim of the situation, you become a channel through which divine order expresses. The common obstacle. The need to analyze the problem. Now let's talk about what gets in the way of using the golden key. Our habitual tendency is to dwell on the problem. We replay the scenario over and over. We analyze every angle. We mentally rehearse what could go wrong. We look for signs it's getting worse, and we call this being realistic. But all we're doing is feeding the energy of the problem. Here's a truth you may not like, but need to hear. Obsessing over a problem only reinforces it. The golden key interrupts that loop. It says no more mental rehearsals of fear. No more circling the issue. No more wondering why. Just turn the key. Turn your attention from the problem to God. Fox promised this. It will work for anything. Health, finances, relationships, legal trouble, confusion, grief, or fear. It does not matter how big or small the issue seems, this method will work. And thousands have confirmed it does. How to practice the golden key, a step-by-step guide. Let's now go step by step. Here's how to actually use the golden key in daily life. Step 1. Name the problem, briefly. You must be honest about what's troubling you. Acknowledge it. Don't suppress or deny it, but keep it brief, don't dwell. Say it clearly. I'm feeling anxious about this interview. I'm scared about my finances. I'm worried about my child. Then, step 2. Make the decision to turn the key. Affirm mentally. I now turn the golden key. I stop thinking about the problem and I think about God instead. This is the pivot. You shift from fear thinking to God thinking. Step 3. Think about God. Now focus your attention entirely on God, not as a man in the sky, but as infinite intelligence, divine love, eternal peace, perfect wisdom. Think of divine qualities. God is love, God is peace, God is omnipresence, God is abundance, God is harmony, God is order, God is wisdom. Repeat these truths silently. Dwell on them, feel them. You can say, divine mind is guiding me now. There is no fear in God. Love governs every part of this situation. Peace fills my mind. Stay here as long as you can, 5 minutes, 10 minutes more if you feel inspired. Step 4. Refuse to mentally return to the problem. When your mind tries to go back to worry, and it will, gently return to God. It's like meditation. Don't punish yourself, just redirect. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't need to fix the problem, you only need to align with truth. What happens when you golden key a situation? Now here's the part people don't expect. When you practice the golden key, 3 things usually happen. The situation resolves quickly and clearly, a solution appears, a block dissolves, the right person calls. Your perception of the issue changes. You suddenly realize it's not such a big deal, or you understand what the lesson really was. You experience peace regardless of outcome. Even if nothing has changed outwardly, you have changed. And from that inner peace, real change begins. This is not about spiritual bypassing. You're not ignoring life, you're looking at it through a higher lens. You're refusing to empower fear. You're choosing spiritual authority over emotional chaos. And that, friends, is power. Real-world example, the worried parent. Let's say you're worried about your teenager. They're distant, acting out, making questionable choices. You've tried talking, you've tried reasoning, you've even tried worrying yourself sick, but none of it works. So you turn the golden key. You say, God is the only presence and power in my child's life. Divine intelligence is guiding them, even if I can't see it. I release my fear and trust that Spirit is working through them now. You keep your focus there, and maybe you notice you become calmer, less reactive, more open, more trusting. And maybe your child senses that change and begins to shift too. That's how spiritual causation works. We don't control others. We change our own consciousness and the world responds. What if it doesn't work right away? You might ask, what if I do all this and nothing changes? Here's the answer. It's not about one-time results. It's about building a spiritual habit. The golden key is not magic. It's a spiritual practice. And like all practices, it works through repetition. Sometimes the outer world takes time to reflect the inner shift. But what you can count on is this. Every time you stop feeding fear and start feeding faith, you are transforming your inner world. And that inner world is the blueprint for everything else. Final thoughts, the key is always in your hands. You don't have to live at the mercy of fear. You don't have to analyze every detail, predict every future, control every outcome. You have a key, a golden key, and you can turn it anytime in any situation with any level of faith. It asks only this: stop thinking about the problem and think about God instead. That's the doorway to peace. That's the path to clarity. That's where miracles happen, not because God has changed, but because you have changed your focus. So the next time you feel afraid, confused, helpless, or angry, turn the key and let God do the rest. Let's do a short golden key practice together right now. 1. Bring to mind a current challenge, not the whole story, just the feeling. 2. Acknowledge it mentally. This is what I've been afraid of. 3. Say silently, I turn the golden key now. 4. Focus completely on divine presence. God is love. God is peace. God is the source of perfect wisdom. God is here now. 5. Stay there. Let it wash over you. Feel the peace rise. Repeat this anytime, anywhere, as often as needed. Thank you for joining this journey. If the golden key spoke to you today, take it with you. Share it. Practice it. It costs nothing. Requires no belief system. Only a willingness to let go of fear and embrace divine truth. Remember, no matter how stormy the world seems, you hold the key. You always have, and now you know how to turn it.